you. Hello, everybody. This is amazing. Let me just take this in a little bit, connect with all of you. I was over here a few days ago, kind of getting used to the stage and thinking about how I'm going to open. And I just want to say that my main goal here today is to just connect with as many of you as possible, heart to heart. I will talk about something that's really deep and really important to me, and I would really love to share that. And that topic is social health, and I'm mixing it in today with business mindset for digital entrepreneurs, because I think it's a big topic for loneliness and social anxiety and isolation sometimes for us when we're trying to build businesses and travel, but also have friendships and deep, meaningful relationships. So hopefully today, by the end of the talk, you will really understand the power of deep, meaningful friendships for your mental health, as well as how relationships and friendships relate to business success. Right? So I will start this with a question. Do you know what the biggest resource for success in life and business is? Just scream out, what do you think? Connections. Time, okay. Okay, great. We had a great talk by Michelle earlier about connections. I will segue into that a little bit as well. I actually believe that there's two main resources for success in life and business. And that is, one is your emotional intelligence and emotional resilience, right? How you manage yourself, how you manage stressful situations. Sam had an amazing presentation about self-mastery, about that, and mind management. And then the second one is people power, or your network, right? So just quickly, if you want to get more money, for example, for your business, who can help you get more money? Other people, right? If you want to have more time for yourself and focus on other things, who can help you? Other people, by creating a team or outsourcing, right? If you want more knowledge or wisdom, who can help you? Other people, right? So everything comes down to other people, but here's the key. It's not by... it's not by exploiting other people and manipulating other people, right? It is by building deep, authentic relationships and connections, which is what I want to talk about today. And so, fighting with the clicker as well, there we go. Here's why I am here. Right now, I live in an amazing co-living. Jeremy is my amazing roommate. Sam is an amazing roommate. My amazing fiance is right there as well to support me. So I have amazing connections around people, and I can speak on stage and connect with all of you as well. But of course, it wasn't always like this. And the main reason why now I'm quite obsessed about social health and helping people with social anxiety is because I grew up watching my parents fight and being bullied in school. Right? So my family was falling apart, my parents fighting, and I was being bullied in school. Now, let me ask you a question again. Have you ever been in a room full of people but still felt lonely and still felt isolated? Have you ever been in a room where you felt anxious even around other people, unsafe? That was my entire life. Anytime I was in a room of people, anytime I was in school or even at home, I felt unsafe, I felt anxious, and it was just absolutely awful. And on my way to school, I had about a 15-minute walk to get to school, and on my way to school, I had to pass a train track. My town is an industry town, and every time I passed that track, I was wondering, what if I didn't get to school? What if I just ended it right on this train track? And every day for months at a time, I had to make the choice to not stop at the train track and just keep going to school, where I knew it was going to be awful. I didn't know exactly if the day is going to be really bad or just a little bit bad. But being here today, obviously I didn't choose the train track. And big reason about that was my turning point, which was I finally discovered what it meant to have a real deep and meaningful friend. Even though I had friends before, I was still lonely and isolated. I felt like nobody understood me. Nobody knew what I was really going through. And what happened was that a totally unrealistic, from the outside, this friendship didn't make any sense. I was the shy kid who got bullied almost every day, and the friend that I made was the popular girl. And from the outside, it seemed like she had everything. People loved her. She was always dressed amazing. People had in school, she had everything that she wanted. But behind the scenes, she had a dark truth as well. Just like I was trying to pretend that I enjoyed school, that it was just good and fun when I was being bullied, she was pretending that she's okay as well, but she got very badly beaten up by her dad at home. And she was wearing all black all the time. Not because she liked it, but because she was hiding the bruises. And nobody knew. And since we connected, we talked about our darkness. I talked about how I hate myself and how I hate being bullied. And she talked about how she hates going home. And the lucky part was we shared the same commute. So we walked the same route almost every day since we became friends, watching the train track and talking to each other. Why don't we end it? Why are we still here? And in that, the darkness became much lighter. And the darkness became much easier to handle with this connection. And she was the first person ever where I felt truly seen, truly heard, and like I could be myself, right? And we had amazing times as well, not just talking about the darkness, but we went out, we took her dog out for a walk to this field, and we were playful, and we were jumping around and having a lot of fun. And it truly saved my life. This deep connection, sharing the darkness. And this is why I became really obsessed with personal development and social health and how it can impact our lives. Right? So since then, I've been focused on confidence building habits and exposure therapy, getting yourself outside of your comfort zone to build your social skills and build your confidence. I discovered that friendships isn't about quantity, right? Once again, we can all be in a full of room but still feel lonely and isolated. It's not about how many people you know or how many people you connect with. It's about the depth of the connection that you create. And so this was the beginning of my social health ideas, and now I look at it in these two pillars. These are the two pillars of social health. One is all about you, and another one is all about other relationships with other people. Confidence is broken down into self-love, social skills, and your social habits. Self-love is the relationship that you have with yourself. Social skills is about how you can communicate people, how you can listen, how you can talk and express yourself, maybe even go on stage. And your social habits is about who you hang out with the most and what do you do when you go to hang out with people, right? All of us here, if you have a habit of going to conferences, that's a really amazing, constructive social habit. But sometimes, as Sam said, I shared the same history with him, we both used to smoke a lot of weed. So my social habits used to be going out to smoke with my friends every day. That wasn't so constructive. Right? So we can have really constructive or destructive social habits. And then the depth of relationships relies on honesty and trust. Right? If you can trust somebody, if you can be honest with somebody, that brings the depth of the relationship better. If you can be vulnerable, vulnerability is a big one. If you can be vulnerable with somebody, again, creates a depth of a relationship. And the last one is reciprocity. If you give up front and you try to give yourself, then you will receive. And a lot of the times from other places. Right? You might give yourself over here and pour into people, and then over here you might start receiving. So giving without expecting anything back from the specific places has been really, really powerful for me as well. Okay, there we go. So now I want to tell you a second story about how these ideas of social health helped me actually create success in business and why I'm here. Right? So I started my coaching business to help people with social anxiety when I was 19. After all of this happened with my friend, and I went out to do exposure therapy, started speaking to strangers on buses, and built a lot of social confidence. So I wanted to help other people as well to overcome their social anxiety. And as a part of this, I was still in this small town. I didn't know anybody who was successful in business, and I didn't really know what to do. But I thought, you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself, and so I googled how to be happy. That was earlier. I googled how to make money online, just like Misha said earlier, right? How many of you as well googled how to make money online at some point in your life? All right, and I started trying to figure out all these things, and I told my parents about, I'm gonna make money online. I'm gonna be a digital nomad. I'm gonna travel the world, and they laughed in my face. And my dad came up with a new habit of how he's going to encourage me. So I would be working in my room, right, on my phone. I didn't have a laptop yet at the time. I was trying to figure out how to make money online, and my dad would just burst into the room and be like, "So, are you making any money online yet?" And I'd be like, "No." And my dad would be like, very supportive. "When are you gonna give up on this stupid dream?" Very supportive, right? And my answer was, "I don't care if it takes me 10 years, because I'm 19, I'm 20 now. Even when I'm successful and I'm 30, if it takes me a decade, it will still be worth it. So please just let me work and get out of my room." Right? Very, very supportive. And one of the challenges that I did, I challenged myself to go live every day for 90 days on social media. And I had 2 goals for each video every day: to share a little bit of my story about trying to inspire people, trying to help people overcome social anxiety. And second, just share a little bit of what's happening in my life right now. Right? I was this 19, 20-year-old kid, still in high school, and then working on the side, trying to make things work, trying to be successful in life. And so I would share a little piece of what's happening right now. And somewhere about 180 days in, I didn't do just one season of this, I did 3 seasons total, so almost a year full of going live every day. And of course I missed days, but overall it worked out pretty great. And about maybe a year in, or 170, 180 days, I don't really remember, I got a really curious message from somebody who's been watching my videos. And it was a really long message. And it read basically, "I'm really inspired by what you've been talking about. I've been watching your videos." By the way, this person never ever commented on anything. I didn't know he existed, but he's been watching. And at the end of the message, he said, "I really like what you're doing. I can see myself in you when I was 10 years younger, and I really want to support you. I have a budget of $10,000 for your education." And as anybody rational, who sees this message, immediately thinks, "Oh, this is a scam." Obviously, right? This can't be real. Some strangers trying to give me $10,000? No way. But I was, I'm gonna go along with it, and I'm trying to make it real. So I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But to be honest, I don't even know what I would do with $10,000. I've never even seen that much money in my life before." And I said, "But you know what? I was just talking to this coach, and he costs $3,000. So I could really use $3,000, and that's fine." And he was like, "Okay, what's your IBAN?" And 2 days later, $3,000 landed in my account, in my IBAN. I was like, "Whoa, this is real? Like, okay, what's gonna happen next?" And after that, he sent me a message. "Hey, let me know how it goes with the coach, and when you're ready, you have 7 more thousand on me. Just say so." So this person is a real person. I met him in person as well later on, and just by me challenging myself like this and being honest and trying to share my story and trying to help others, I got my biggest supporter, who didn't even comment on anything but sent me a message privately like this. So my question to you is, how is this possible? How is this possible that this stranger who's on the other side of the planet reached out and said, "I want to support you, I want to give you $10,000, which again is money that I've never seen before. Right? Again, you can shout out some ideas. How is this possible?
You're an inspiring guy.
Thank you. Social media, okay, power of social media, yes? Real, thank you. So I believe that there's 4 keys that unlock these opportunities, right? First, it was the relationship with myself. Again, that's where it all starts, right? I had a pretty good relationship with myself based on my past already, so I was able to show up real and show up in a way that I connected with people, right? Even through video. The second one was communication. I was communicating what I'm trying to do, right? I wasn't just trying to hide myself. I was speaking out my message and letting other people attract me. Third was vulnerability. Again, one of my goals was to just honestly really share what I'm going through right now. And a lot of the videos, by the way, were just me walking from work, trying to come up with some topic, right? Hey, I'm just coming from work, and you know, I really want to share something, how important the confidence building habit can be with you, for you, right? And so I was being vulnerable about what's happening right now. If I'm having a rough day, or if I'm having an amazing day, I share that on my daily video. And lastly was generosity. I was always trying to give generously, as much as I possibly could, whether that was my stories or information or wisdom or even resources that I could share, right? I ended up giving away about $3,000 of these $10,000 that this person gave me as well, right? So generosity was a big part. His main kind of reason, or I'm blanking with the word, but basically he just said, I will give you this money with one condition. That's the word. His condition was, just pay it forward. Just pay it forward, however you can, right? So being generous. And so are you inspired right now to start building some real and meaningful and mutually beneficial relationships? Who's inspired to build some real meaningful relationships and take your relationships further? All right, awesome. So how about we make it really practical for you, right? Let's simplify this into a simple exercise, how we can make this easy. So I put together this really quick, really easy, take you maybe 15 minutes a day, daily social health checklist, especially for busy people, as we all are, right? So take 3 to 5 minutes every day just to breathe, connect with yourself, to build that relationship with yourself, feel into your body, take a few deep breaths, don't worry about anything else. This can be really quick, just a few minutes. Second, this is great for building confidence and social skills and start opening conversations. Do some social confidence reps, right? How as you go to the gym, you have to practice. It's the same, so you can give compliments to some people. You can wave at strangers. Again, it can be really simple. You can give a compliment or just say hello and wave to 5 people every day. Really, really simple. And then the last one is for the depth, where you can practice how to get deep into the relationships as well, especially the ones you already have, which is sending somebody a gratitude text. Just send somebody almost every day, if you can, every day, one person, how much you've appreciated meeting them, whether they were in your life for a long time or for just a few days or for a season. Just tell people you appreciate them. It helps you connect with your own heart. It helps you build deep connections with other people as well. And here's the benefits of doing this social health checklist. Of course, you don't have to be super consistent every day, but just generally speaking, if you try to do this, you will see a huge benefits with deeper connections, more inner peace, more fulfillment, more happiness, unstoppable confidence, and many unlocked opportunities that you can't even imagine. I would have never imagined that I'm going to get $10,000 from a stranger online by making my videos. And so, if you want to connect with me, here's my Instagram QR code. You can also just search RoboHumanist. And if you DM me Nomad Fest, you will get the checklist. There's an automation. You will get the checklist for free right away. And if you want to, you can also book a session with me as a free for the Nomad Fest. About 60-minute session. I call it the time to level up session because we're going to dive deeper into where you are and where you want to go and how I might be able to serve you, how I might be able to help you. So that's a gift from me. And that's it, everybody. Is that it? I think that's it.
Oh yeah, Q&A.
Q&A. Okay, Sam.
Hello, Andra.
Hi, Sam.
Nice to see you this morning.
Mic check. You talk about building depth of relationships and as roommates. It's also really interesting to know how you like to build relationships. It's really important to build relationships depending on what your values are. But what I want to know, and maybe it's a good question for everyone as well, is like, what does a good friend mean to you?
What a great
A real friend, how you put it.
Yeah, what a great question. A big part of it is understanding not only the outside, but also the struggles inside, the challenges. And communicating that. I think everybody has a different definition of what a friend means to you, right? So if you really want to become good friends with somebody, I think that's the first step, like defining it with each other, right? Hey, what do you expect from a really good friend or from a real friend? For me, it's about understanding the challenges and the struggles that your friend is going through as well. Not just, oh my God, this person is really cool, I would like to be friends, but also the other side that normally people don't want to talk about. And there has to be safety, a level of safety, that you know that even the uncomfortable, hard conversations, whether that's, hey, I'm really struggling right now with myself, or hey, I don't really like how you've treated me or what you did, right? There has to be that level of safety of I know I can talk about anything with this person. That's what the friendship is for me, in short.
We'll talk soon. Thank you, Andre.
Thank you, Sam.
Andre, I just want to say thank you for being you and sharing your story. It's because of you that I am here today.
Hey.
So, big thank you for that. And I appreciate from your past learning about your story and the ways that you have pushed yourself before in becoming more outgoing and becoming more social. So what's next? How are you presently pushing yourself to grow?
Being on stages is one, right? And being on hopefully bigger and bigger in stages to connect with more people and really share this, especially with nomads or people who struggle with this. I think, and it's still uncomfortable, right, to step up on the stage. I've been on stages before, but every time it's still a little bit uncomfortable for now. Ice baths with Sam have been challenging as well. So it's all these little things that can be uncomfortable that like, okay, I think this is really good for me even though it's hard. In terms of my own, speaking on stages, connecting with more people, and even with the people that I have, going deeper again. And making sure that while I grow my business and all of this, it's hard to balance, honestly, right? It's not easy, even being roommates with some of the people here. I'm sure that there's been times where we felt really connected and there's been times where we felt not so connected. So trying to figure out how we can balance it with business and all of this as well is still a little bit of a growth edge for me. And that's where I want to go.
Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there? Oh,
Are there any other more
What-
questions?
there's a
We have
que-
time
there's
for
a
more
question-
questions.
There's a question in the back. What's your name? Galvi. Hi.
I have a question. So most of us are nomads here, right? And we're constantly moving from one place to the other. And while on the move, we do make some really meaningful connections. But then the date comes up, and the person that you made connections with has to go to a different destination. So what's that one life advice or suggestion or anything that you would like to share to people to cope up with this situation or to handle a situation like that? Because I'm kind of in a similar situation myself right now, and I'm like, I don't know how to navigate through this,
Yeah. Okay.
So do you have anything?
Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
First of all, it's really hard to say goodbyes, right? So just acknowledge that, and it's a part of the lifestyle that we chose. It's one of the harder things. What's helped me as well a lot, let me go back maybe, no? It was the gratitude text, making sure that I stay in contact with the people, even after we've left. And then with Jeremy, for example, we've been together, and then we've been separate, and then together again, and then separate, right? So one of the beautiful parts of the digital nomad life is that you can meet somebody in Da Nang, and then meet them again in Mexico City 2 months later. And then meet them again in Amsterdam like 2 years later, right? So to me, I navigate this in a way, I never really say fully goodbye. It's more so, I will see you again somewhere in the world, and it's going to be really exciting, and I can't wait to connect with you. Another one is the gratitude and keeping up with people, and having maybe even a list of friends, list of people that you want to stay in touch with. And lastly, not basing your connections on the frequency of contact or how often you speak, but with the depth, right? And just reflecting and remembering. And that's what the gratitude text can help with. As an example with my friend, the friend that I shared the story about, we speak every 6 months these days. She has an amazing family in the Czech Republic. She basically never left. I've been to 20 countries, jumping around, doing all these crazy things. And she's having a simple life with a family, with two beautiful daughters, and having a very different life. But every time we connect, the depth is still there. And I still have her in my mind because of the depth. So if you fully connect with somebody on an honest, vulnerable, deep level, that will stay with you, and then you can meet them 6 months later here or 6 months later there. I hope that helps.
All right. Are there any other questions? Yes, I see hands. Yes, okay.
David, yay.
I'm back. I think the question I have is really for the people for whom this is going to be so useful. That first step can be so daunting. Just waving to a stranger when they've never done it before.
Yeah.
Or saying hello when they haven't. And I wondered what your advice would be for those first steps to overcome the internal block just to look someone in the eye.
Yeah. Great question. Thank you, David. I'll go over this really quickly. There's basically two things. One is your body language and how your body affects your emotional state. So when I started speaking to people on buses to overcome my own social anxiety, first I would notice that I would be like this. And then what helped me actually to make the first step was taking a deep breath and sitting like this instead. And that was really the first thing. So I call this fight the fear with your body first, not with your mind. So every time before I was trying to, no, it's going to be okay, and trying to convince my brain that it's going to be okay. And my brain just got me. But when I fought with my body first, that's when I was able to make the first step. So change your body language first. Take a deep breath, put your shoulders back, smile, make yourself feel stronger, even clench your fist like, yes, I got this, right? And that can really help. Now the second part is leveled exposure therapy. So you don't, for example, I like to think of it as a video game. So if you want to play a game and you want to win and you want to go to level 10, you not go from level 1 to level 10 directly, because guess what? You're going to get your ass kicked and never want to play the game again, right? And so that's the same. Let's use the analogy of like, I want to introduce myself to girls and get girls' numbers, right, as a shy guy. I'm not going to go, okay, I can't even make eye contact, to I'm going to go to a coffee shop and I'm going to get somebody's number. Because you're going to get your ass kicked and never want to play again, right? You're going to embarrass yourself. And so you can start little by little. So first just start sending text to strangers on Facebook, for example. Connect with people in Facebook groups. And then once you are more comfortable there, just send voice messages, and then you can send video messages, and then you can do a voice call and a video call. So you can analyze where you are right now and just what's the next step. You don't have to go all the way from there. And then you go level by level, and by the 6 months, a year later, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm at level 15, and I'm owning it, right? I'm on stage now. I couldn't speak to people before. It wasn't like I went from nothing to stage. I went from little by little by little.
All right, let's give it up. Let's give it up. All right. I think that's it for questions. Guys, one more round of applause for Ondra.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.